Hello, good evening and welcome to Weekend File. We are live in Abuja. One of the distinguishing features of the federal government is the introduction of National Social Investment Program to raise the social and economic lives of the people, especially the vulnerable. The program is to mainstream Nigerians across all segments into active national life. National productivity to meet up national aspirations remains the anchor point of the social interventions. Since 2016, when it was officially launched, Nigerians have witnessed a range of life-changing platforms under the program, including homegrown school feeding, conditional cash transfer, trader money, Empower, and several skills acquisition centers across the Federation for transfer of special skills and knowledge for economic growth. The impact of all these programs cannot be imagined, as many people have been lifted out of poverty, in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's determination to midwife 100 million Nigerians out of poverty within the next 10 years. Government, enterprise and empowerment program loans are playing roles in different stages of the economy, as many Nigerians continue to benefit from the Anchor Borrower Program, micro, small and medium enterprises, as well as Survival Fund. Weekend File tonight is an update on the actual status of the various social intervention programs running across the states of the Federation. Our guest is Umar Buba Bindiri, National Coordinator of the National Social Investment Program. I am Kenen Ima Abodike. Let's start with the news. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website nta.ng/live and on YouTube channel NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page NTA Network News, Twitter at NTA News Now and Instagram NTA Network for updates. The ruling All Progressives Congress remain committed to the welfare of the common man because it is a party of the people and will continually ensure that the common man benefits maximally from the government. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo stated this when he received on a courtesy call a delegation of the APC Professionals Forum in Abuja. While acknowledging the significance of the APC Professionals Forum in the scheme of things, the Vice President urged the forum to play more important roles in shaping the party's ideology, stressing that the leaders and politicians are there to serve the people and give them reasons to believe in a better country. The Vice President stated that professionals are integral to ensuring the party stays focused on the well-being of Nigerians and its ideals, as stated in the Constitution and Manifesto. Former Governor of Bauchi State, Esa Yuguda, who is the Chairman, Board of Trustees of the Forum, noted that professionals in the party felt the need to identify with the Vice President, being himself a professional. Now, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has called on Nigerians resident in Egypt to remain resolute and continue to have faith in the present administration back home in Nigeria, and shun negative commentaries about the country which can dampen their morale. The minister said this in Cairo, Egypt, when he had an interactive session with Nigerians in that country. Anthony Forson reports.
These are the faces of Nigerians resident in Egypt, all looking into the future with hope, among them students and businessmen and women. Their converging here is for one reason, curious to know the situation back home from the spokesman of the government, as they took turns to ask the minister what is the true situation about Nigeria, ranging from security to the polity, economy, and the future of Nigerian youths.
Most of the news you receive about Nigeria abroad, most of them is fake news. It's not true. Nigeria is at peace with itself. Nigeria is, and Nigerians are living harmoniously as brothers and sisters. There is no country without its own challenges. We are facing our own. I'm glad that some of you who have been here for, say, 10 years, 5 years, you know what the situation was here before. But because they have a leader who is committed, most of the problems are fading, and you can see development everywhere. It's the same story back in Nigeria. We have our challenges. Yes, we have Boko Haram. Yes, we have banditry. We have sometimes we have problems with the militants in the South. But does not mean the whole of Nigeria is at war. And I want any of you who has gone home recently to please tell the others who are here what you met at home.
With this record of achievements, Lai Mohammed appealed to them to continue to remain loyal and obedient to the rules of their host country. In the same vein, Minister for Women Affairs Pauline Talon spoke extensively on the present administration's scorecard as it affects the empowerment of women. For the Nigerian ambassador to Egypt, Noura Abarimi, the embassy, he assured, will leave its doors open for Nigerians at all times, expressing delight that records show that Nigerians resident in Egypt are well behaved. Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Let's now go to security matters, where the Nigerian army is upscaling alternative dispute resolution approach in conflict management as a means of stemming violence in the society. This is part of a non-kinetic means of tackling the security challenges in the country. The first correspondent, Ismail Musa, reports.
Conflict, though, cannot be completely eradicated in the society, but can be reduced to the barest. Reports from the Army Resource Center show that quest for resource control, mutual mistrust, misinformation and struggle for power are some factors responsible for cases of conflicts in contemporary society. The center, however, suggests identifying early warning signals and engaging in an alternative dispute resolution approach can avert conflicts. So, time to further adopt this approach in the defense sector. Participants from the military, paramilitary and civil society are here taking notes on the fundamentals of alternative dispute resolution techniques, and this will be applied on the field to expand the scope of civil-military relations.
Alternate dispute resolution is required now, because it is not every time we need to go to a court of law. We are not saying you cannot go to a court of law. It is part of the legal system. But given the culture, given the background, given the tradition we have in this part of the world, it's always easier to resolve a case out of the court, to agree as to some modalities, which makes it easier for us to continue to be friends. Because in some communities, the belief is if you take somebody to court, that is the end of the relation, that's the end of friendship.
I want those who have attended this program to go back to their domains and for them to be first-line responders. Once there's any conflict, let them respond.
The training is part of a non-kinetic approach to tackling security challenges and a proactive means to stem conflict in the society. From the Nigerian Army Resource Center in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Maintaining a robust presence with aggressive patrols within the nation's maritime domain, the Nigerian Navy has sustained security operations and initiated special services under the leadership of the 21st Indigenous Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awal Gambo, who has now marked 1 year in office. Defense correspondent Najatu Tijani reports.
It's been exactly 1 year since Vice Admiral Awal Gambo has been at the helm of affairs, steering the Navy towards wider horizons.
I want to assure the outgoing Chief of the Naval Staff, sir, that I am going to uphold the good works that he has begun and ensure that we move the Nigerian Navy to yet greater heights.
Under the 21st Chief of Naval Staff, the Nigerian Navy has experienced greater expansion of its fleet under the federal government's fleet renewal program for the armed forces of Nigeria, thereby fulfilling the pledge of improved maritime security.
In terms of sea readiness and availability for operational deployment, in order to speedily boost our capacity to meet our statutory maritime commitments.
One of the milestones in this area includes the induction and commissioning of a hydrographic survey ship, NNS Lana, as well as inshore patrol crafts, NNS Aba, Kano, Ikenne, and Sakwato. Others are fast patrol boats and seaward defense boats.
Shipbuilding is a complex and time-based engineering activity which demands hard work, integration of diverse competencies, and attention to the minutest details.
In this regard, the Nigerian Navy set a new historic milestone. Looking inwards, the Nigerian Navy also built indigenous boats with materials sourced locally. With this vision, the Nigerian Navy says it will continue to expand its reach onwards together to sustain contributions to international and internal security operations for greater impact. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
The development of Nigeria as an indivisible nation is greater than the interest of any group or individual. This was the view of some guests at the 2022 annual ceremony of our Nigerian News Magazine Award ceremony in Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
Zaki Aziz, a popular Nigerian musician, with his song on unity, setting the tune for the annual Our Nigerian News Magazine Award ceremony. The periodic unifying program, fourth in this series, seeks to award and recognize hard work and commitment to duty, and above all, selflessness to the cause of humanity by some personalities.
The reason why our Nigeria News Magazine come up with this very award ceremony is to show that Nigeria is not all about terrorism, banditry. There are good things happening in the country. There are people who are doing all they could to see that this nation keep on moving.
Whatever religion or tribe you might find yourself, this nation is a great nation. Our youths are greater than all youths of this world. We are more energetic, so we cannot afford to condemn our country.
24 eminent personalities from different parts of the country and sectors received awards for excellence in various fields in the 2022 edition of the program. Aliu Bababarau, former director of news NTA, got the Lifetime Achievement Award in broadcasting. Discussions at the event centered on the need for Nigerians to channel their energy towards unity, self-development, and promote peaceful coexistence.
The more we are united, the better for us, and the better the country develops and moves forward.
In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Matters, the Federal Road Safety Corps has reacted to a publication by a national newspaper with the caption, "Promotion Racket Rocks Road Safety" on Friday, 28 January, describing the publication as untrue. The FRSC knows that contrary to the author's claim, all promotions in the Corps are based on merit, federal character principle, and availability of vacancies as approved by the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation on yearly basis. Promotion exercise in the Corps is jointly conducted with representatives from the Federal Character Commission and the Board of the Federal Road Safety Commission. While promising to be media-friendly, the FRSC advises members of the media to always balance their reportage by seeking clarifications appropriately. More than 13 people lost their lives in a multiple motor accident along Dankande outskirts of Kaduna metropolis as a result of head-on collision by two tankers. Haruna Mohammed brings us details.
The accident happened at about 9 to 10 p.m. last night as a result of side collision between two tankers and one Homer bus moving towards Kaduna from Maraban Jos. Here with me is the Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, Kaduna State Command.
This incident has resulted in about 9 casualties who were seriously injured. Our people were on ground at our zebra point, ambulance point, by Dankande toll gate. They took some of them to St. Gerard, some to Barodiko Teaching Hospital and Kakaki Hospital. We were able to come and completely put out the fire. That was when we began the process of evacuation using extricating machines and other equipment at our disposal. So far, we have recovered 12 dead bodies, and we have been able to get the passenger manifest of the Homer bus which took off from Zaria last night. So we have the manifest, and some of the relations have started coming forward.
The burnt vehicles have been evacuated by men of the Federal Road Safety Corps to allow free flow of traffic on the highway. In Kaduna, Haruna Muhammad, NTA News.
Authorities of Hadija Jama'are River Basin Development Authority are working towards scaling up the productive capacity of their personnel to match the expectations of the multi-billion naira investment of the federal government on developing water resources in their jurisdiction. Yahanasu Hassan has details.
The operational areas of Hadija Jama'are River Basin Development Authority have in recent years witnessed multi-billion naira investment by the federal government in the provision of dam infrastructures like Gari Irrigation Project, conceived and started by the defunct Petroleum Special Trust Fund but abandoned for over 2 decades. Authorities of the river basin have realized that the goals of this ambitious investment by the federal government require a highly skilled and motivated workforce that will manage water infrastructure for maximum results.
I expect a lot of things to change the work ethics of our senior civil service.
Organizers of this marathon training session are optimistic that knowledge-based management of these resources will bring multiplier effect of efficiency in attainment of envisaged objectives of food security and breaking the cycle of poverty, especially among rural communities.
They should be exposed to a number of things: the public service rules, financial regulations, machinery of government.
We at management level have started thinking over of how to extend similar trainings to other members of staff.
In Kano, Yahana Hassan, NTA News.
And talking agriculture, evacuation of the unprocessed rice sacked as pyramids in Abuja has commenced. Rice millers are on ground to see to the evacuation for milling and processing. Ayena J. Auta reports.
Would be recalled that rice paddy under the Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria program RIFAN were stacked in 13 massive pyramids to ensure Nigeria's food security and abundance. This unprocessed rice, which was gathered together from across the 36 states of the Federation, is said to be just about 10% of the produce by farmers under the Anchor Borrowers program. Evacuation of this rice for milling and further processing has started in Abuja.
Each miller was given a certain quantity of paddy, and he has paid. If you pay 100%, and if you have any outstanding payment and you settle that through the Unity Bank, then you will honor the allocation and load the quantity that was allocated to you.
An average bag is about 75 kg, and the millers will ensure that the end product is sold to Nigerians at affordable rates.
As a miller, you will apply or you request that you did a FID to refund, from refund through CBN. So whenever the refund or CBN confirm that yes, you have a rice mill, so everybody is allowed to go and they will allocate a number of bags through which capacity do you have.
The Abuja Rice Pyramid is considered to be the largest in Africa. Ayena J. Auta, NTA News.
The federal government's plans for food security through agricultural diversification is realizable if the country leverages on digital technology to improve production, processing, storage and packaging of agricultural produce. This forms part of a research from the University of Uyo, where food expert insists that food security should go beyond availability and affordability. Clement Barakui reports.
Research shows that in Nigeria, about 30 million hectares of farmland have remained undercultivated every season, and this falls short of the estimated 78.5 million hectares of land that is required for farming to feed Nigeria's growing population. This may seem scary, but it is possible to maximize the available farmland to meet government's target on food security. Mechanization and agricultural engineering, according to experts, are sure ways for Nigerians to eat what is good.
We should begin to see how do we mechanize. Beyond mechanization, how do we modernize? Most of our small-scale farmers, they are 2-3 hectares of land. The simple things they do, it can be modernized. And this is by leveraging on technologies, innovations to help those farmers to do better.
The technology to process it, and that is the perspective he has brought in today, that a lot of wastages in the country, so much harvest and so much post-harvest lost.
Eating what is good, the agricultural and food engineer's perspective, was the focus of the 87th inaugural lecture of the University of Uyo, where experts submitted that Nigeria is on the right track by considering agriculture as key to economic diversification. In Uyo, Clement Barakui, NTA News.
Welcome back to Weekend File. The federal government of Nigeria introduced the National Social Investment Program, NSIP, in 2016 to tackle poverty and hunger. Components under the NSIP focus on ensuring an equitable distribution of resources to the vulnerable, including women, children and youths. Ifeanyi Ezumba, in this special assignment, examines the success, challenges and prospects of the program.
According to statistics, the Social Investment Program has supported more than 4 million beneficiaries nationwide through a fair and transparent process. This program has 4 components: the conditional cash transfer, which supports those within the lower poverty bracket; the Empower Program, which assists young Nigerians between ages of 18 and 35 to acquire and develop lifelong skill, while the Government Enterprise and Empowering Program is a micro-lending intervention that targets traders, artisans, enterprising youths, farmers and women, and the homegrown school feeding. The focal person, FCT Social Investment Program, Chinwendu Eteyan Amba, says this program has made a significant impact in the lives of millions of ordinary Nigerians, as more than 14,012 people benefited in the Federal Capital Territory.
Engaging youth under the Empower scheme, paying them a stipend of 30,000 naira every month. The traders, the rural women in the communities, now access loans, trader money, market money, and farmers' money. Almost all the children in FCT want to go to school because of the one nutritional meal they're being served every day.
Speaking on the challenges faced in implementing the program, the FCT Empower Desk Officer, Rerima Abdullahi Baba, says one major challenge faced is people complaining of non-payment of their dues.
Most especially people that have to do their submitted on account details, because every day we collect information and send to the National Social Investment Program Office for volunteers who have submitted wrong account numbers or during the process of their registration, because the cyber cafe people are just eager to register as many people as possible to get money. So in the process of registration, they mix up their account number.
As part of its determination to boost economic growth, the present administration has also ramped up its support for micro, small and medium enterprises sector. Ifeanyi Ezumba, NTA News.
Matching the world with action in its target of pulling up citizens from the low end of the wealth pyramid and ensuring they lead more purposeful lives, the federal government initiated a trader money scheme. It is also a tool aimed at driving survival of very small businesses in the country. Abolade Salami in this report examines the gains and prospects of the initiative on the lives of beneficiaries.
Many small businesses, the trader money scheme is a lifeline. During the galloping period caused by COVID-19, it served as crucial shock absorber for businesses that were hit by the unforeseen impacts of the pandemic. The initiative is part of federal government's plan of supporting very small-scale traders to easily access 10,000 naira loans without collateral for the purpose of expanding their businesses.
So I believe with the 10,000 naira, I will make a difference. My business will grow, so I really thank God.
With millions of Nigerians making the trader money list of beneficiaries, stories of many have changed from the usual narrative of being out of jobs to expansion and creation of additional petty trade by women and youths.
But I pray that such a thing go make it start to do that such a thing is make everybody where we could not get to the gate.
The initiative, which demonstrates the government's concern for human capital development and poverty reduction, also seeks to deliver on promises made to alleviate the plight of Nigerians. The scheme, which centers around the poor, stakeholders say has brought respite to many lives and businesses. They, however, call for an upward review of the loan in view of the current economic realities.
So we are appealing for more transparency on the part of people who are put there by government to give these services to our people.
I know that there's too much demand, but still they have to look into that area so that everybody will be able to benefit.
Experts are also of the view that a project like the trader money should be sustained and coverage broadened so that more Nigerians are lifted out of poverty, a move that will contribute to the economic growth of the country. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Umar Buba Bindiri, National Coordinator of the National Social Investment Program, joins us live in the studio. You're welcome to Weekend File.
Thank you very much.
Of course, the federal government hit the ground running in 2016 with National Social Investment Program, and you are in charge at the moment.
Yes.
What has been happening so far?
Well, you see, Mr. President realized that to sustain the strength of this democracy, to ensure that the dividends of democracy reaches people, the issue of poverty is a big issue. And that's why the president decided to do it differently, as opposed to the previous administrations where you have a big program is hanging either under the presidency or under special arrangement. So the president came up with this creative innovation, supported by his team, particularly the vice president, to establish the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs as a colossal structure to mop up all the relevant activities and then to shoot the poverty with really, really good focus. Now, in addition to that, the NSIP, the National Social Investment Program, is another creative intervention-based program to say that, look, this country, yes, we're hitting poverty from all directions, but you don't need Einstein to come and tell you that you have youth unemployment problem. You have retooling requirements. You need to shock treat smaller, vulnerable and poor people at the bottom of the pyramid. And therefore, launching the National Social Investment Program in 2016, and you can agree with me with the swagger of the Vice President, who goes to markets and everything, branded the whole thing, and then Nigerians answer to the call of Mr. President. So the N-Power capture graduates that are not employed, pump them up with skills, turn them into volunteers to work in schools, with healthcare facilities, in agricultural establishment, over a year, and then give them a lot of information, and gradually, hopefully, 60–70% of them will become entrepreneurs to employ themselves and employ others. So you have skilled and then employment. Also, there is a non-graduate component to that. People who have secondary school certificate. Capture them for 3 months under the roof of real skill building up, in plumbing and in carpentry, in bricklaying and stuff like that. And then give them tools as startup stuff. And then let them also establish their own businesses. So the N-Power literally is give them skills and help them to establish businesses. But then there are the three other components: the school feeding program, feed public school children from classes 1 to 3. That is what children of the poor are. Most of them probably don't go to school because they are hungry, they have to do this and that. So the president said, feed them with very good nutritious meal once a day throughout the schooling days. And we have seen an enormous enrollment increase. We've seen children staying in the school over a long period of time, listening to their teachers. We've seen an increase in passing rate, and their healthiness has grown. Then also you've seen the market money, trader money, and the farmer money under the JIP. This is really targeting the bottom of the pyramid. You see the women selling fish, sugarcane chaps selling sugarcane, and so on and so forth. Give them 10 to 50,000 naira. You change their lives completely. And then the conditional cash transfer, which targets the poor and vulnerable household. So the whole quantum of the whole thing is just so vibrant. It's creating jobs, it's building skills, it's building confidence. And Nigeria today is celebrating this as the world's top poverty eradication targeting country, and we're proud of that.
I like that background you've just laid down. When we return after our break now, we will go into the status of the NSIP at the moment, because a good number of Nigerians would love to know how it's going. All right, you're watching Weekend File on the... Thank you for staying with us. About 12,000 graduates and non-graduates have benefited from the federal government Empower in Edo State for the Batch A and B of the program. The Batch C, which started October last year, has 10,000 enlisted members acquiring skills for self-reliance and filling manpower gaps in ministries, departments and agencies of government in the state. Agatha Ojo reports that even with this achievement, posting and staggered payment of monthly stipend are hampering smooth running of the program.
Collins Emokari is a part-time student in the Department of Health Education, University of Benin. He has completed his final exams, and all that is left is his project work. He's one of the beneficiaries of the Batch C Empower in the non-graduate category, and his stipend helps augment his needs, but he is yet to begin training.
My category was N-Tech Software. We are hoping for the further posting to continue this training on the area of graphic design and web development.
Like Collins, Etinosa Osadolo, a medical laboratory science graduate of Uniben, and others engaged in the program are making their marks in areas of deployment. They are engaged in public secondary schools, health centers, agric development program as agric extension officers, while non-graduates major in skill acquisition for self-reliance.
Posting is done at the state level. We post them to their places of residence, because the program is to ensure that the monthly stipends given to the beneficiaries are not completely exhausted on transportation. So it's expected that they work within their local government of residence, and especially their locality. However, this time around it was done from national office, so we had some issues based on distance. So many of them complain about distance, but the good part is that they give them the option to do redeployment.
While they ask for prompt solution to problems that hinder their advancement, they want an improvement in the parameters used for implementation of batches A and B for the scheme to remain successful. In Benin, Agatha Ekwari Ojo, NTA News.
We're still here with Umar Buba Bindiri, National Coordinator of the National Social Investment Program. Tell us more about the Empower project. What is new?
Well, the Empower, as most people will recall, is that it's a program that is very transparent and fair. There's no forms that you print and share to people. It's web-based, it's a portal-based. Advertisements have been made nationwide, and anybody can apply. And I am happy to report to Nigerians that the first batch in 2016, when the portal was open, around 700 to 800,000 young people actually registered. Now, with all some people don't believe it, the data, when you check the data, you can just see sometimes Thomas. He has no Thomas John, or whether he's no address, he will say BSc. He doesn't say BSc chemistry or physics or BA, So the processing was done, and then 200,000 was mined from that data, and that was the batch A. And then batch B, when we launched it in 2017, we got a total of 2.5 to 3 million people who applied. And then same process, we mined 300,000. The president looked at this data, and then for batch C, he said, wow, open the portal again. We opened the portal in 2020. Surprise, surprise, we had more than 6 million registered unemployed. And then he said, come on, increase it to 1 million. Whatever you do to the process it and increase to 1. So the change is that from 200 to 300,000, now we have 1 million. And it's important for Nigerians to understand that if you were to take 1 million graduates on Empower, on a stipend of 30,000, every month the bill is actually 30 billion. And in 10 months, it's 300 billion. It's nearly the total budget given to NSIP. So it's a very, very ambitious program. But then technical management and so on makes it work. So there's a lot of deployment of ICT to make it work. There's a lot of deployment of publicity and guidance to make sure that people do the right thing. The sourcing of the schools for the N-Teach and the healthcare facilities for the N-Health and the farming system for the N is refined so that we are engaging the state basic education system so that we really answer the N, the national, so that it's not a federal program, it's everybody's program. The primary healthcare system is working with us. The agriculture system is working with us. So the key thing for people who intend to participate or who are participating to understand is that the N-Power has not been put there to employ you. It's to give you an opportunity of space. 30,000 naira for graduates within a month for a period of 1 year, 10,000 for non-graduates plus kit to take you off for a period of 3 months training and 6 months attachment so that you can take the opportunities in this country. When you say that poverty is 40%, it means if you put all Nigerians in a bag and you shake it and you pull 100, 40 are not happy. They don't have good housing. Therefore, we must provide housing. That is where the jobs are. 40 does not have clean water to drink. They need clean water. That is with the jobs there. 40 are not living in good houses. They need housing. That is where the job, and the story continues. So this program is to open your eyes to see the opportunities in this country so that build up your skill. The internet is everywhere. Hunt for information while you have a space for stipend so that at the end of the day, you can now employ yourself and employ others. That is the secret about the program, and that is what we're trying to unleash to young people. Instead of saying, oh, the government has refused to give us job after attachment. That's not the idea. Oh, they have not employed us. That's not the idea. The idea is to prepare you to take the opportunities, employ yourself, and employ one or two more.
Good. Tell us about speculations about the conditional, unconditional cash transfer, trader money, farmer money. Are there challenges in recouping what you spent?
Well, you see, every credit package will, if you want to sustain it, for more people to be captured, is that you have your resources, you deliver it to people, they repay, you have another batch, they repay, and that is how you expand for sustainability. So the JIP with the trader money, the market money, and the farmer money are actually loans. But the speciality is that the president said, please do a unique loan. These loans don't have collateral, so we don't ask you for your house or your hoe or your tractor or your whatever. These loans have no interest, zero interest. So, in fact, for banks, this is the first mistake of the program. How on earth do you give loans without collateral and interest? Well, we've done it. And then you pump these people with training, constant monitoring, evaluation, extension people going to help them. So the woman who is smoking and selling fish is smoking and selling more fish, and therefore she can repay. The woman who is selling tomato in the market, she's now selling 3 baskets instead of 1 basket. Therefore she makes more money and pay. So that's the idea. And we're seeing, initially it was slow. People thought this is their own part of the national cake, but then we worked very hard at it, and now gradually...
So they're beginning to repay.
People are beginning to pay.
So that more people can benefit.
Yes, in fact, the president has approved that instead of the 10,000, loan to market and trader money when we started, it is now 50,000. You know, the farmer money has now gone up to 300,000, and therefore more people are participating, more energy is unleashed out of these small and petty businesses.
We're so glad to hear that you guys are at the NSIP and doing a great job for the teeming masses of Nigeria. Good luck and continue doing well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
We're talking with Umar Buba Bindiri, National Coordinator, National Social Investment.